There is something about gaming late at night that makes you feel invincible. The world outside disappears. The darkness outside your window stops mattering. The sounds of the house fading into silence, you stop hearing them. You are safe inside the glow of the screen. At least that is what you tell yourself. Tonight I want to share 3 stories with you. 3 real accounts from real people who were sitting exactly where you are right now. Controllers in hand. Headsets on. Completely unaware of what was watching them. The first story comes from a 17-year-old boy living in Chandler, Arizona. His parents traveled often, so most nights it was just him. Alone in the house. Alone in his room. The only light coming from his gaming setup. Blue LEDs washing the walls in a soft electric glow. It was a Friday night in June. Scorching hot outside. He had done his errands, submitted a paper for school, and settled in for the night with Call of Duty, Black Ops. He and his friend Johnny had been playing for 2 hours straight. He stepped away to make pasta. Sitting alone in the kitchen, he heard it. A thump. Upstairs. Low. Heavy. Like a single footstep on floorboards that knew they were being listened to. He told himself it was nothing. The house settling. Something falling over. He even called out his brother Tristan's name into the dark hallway, knowing full well his brother was at home. Silence answered him. He went back to his room. Back to the game. Back to the comfort of the familiar. The hallway outside his cracked bedroom door was dark, all except for a small nightlight at the far end of the hall. He glanced at the door between matches. Nothing. He glanced again, some time later. And this time something had changed. He could see further through the crack than before. The angle was different. Like something in the hallway had shifted. He doesn't know why he turned around. Maybe instinct. Maybe something deeper than instinct. Something ancient that whispers in the back of your mind when a predator is near. He spun his chair around. There was a man sitting on his bed. Perfectly upright. Hands resting flat on his thighs. Completely still. Smiling at him. He screamed, "What do you want?" The man's smile grew wider. Showed teeth. Like he found this amusing. He ran into the hallway. He looked back. He heard the bed springs creak as the man slowly stood up and stepped into the doorway. "What do you want?" The man tilted his head. And in a slow, stuttering voice he said, "Can I play too?" He asked how the man got in. The man pointed downstairs. The front door. Left unlocked. He grabbed a phone. Grabbed a knife. Threatened to call 911. The man walked calmly down the stairs past the kitchen, looked at him one last time, and walked out the front door. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was broken. But the image of that man sitting on the bed in the dark, watching through the crack in the door, that image never left him. The second story is one the person who lived it is not proud of. He was 13 years old. The year was 2010. He was shy, awkward, the kind of kid who found it easier to talk to people through a screen than face to face. He played a lot of online games. And in one of those games he met someone. A player called Medusa. They messaged constantly. Hours every night in party chat. She knew his age, his town, his family. She told him her name was Teresa. Said she was 15. They exchanged photos. She looked older. And he, 13 years old, desperate to feel seen, convinced himself that meant something real. They made plans to meet. His parents were going away for the weekend. He sent his older brother out. He cleaned his room. He rehearsed what he would say. He was so sure this was going to be the beginning of something. Then came the text, "I'm here." He looked through the peephole of the front door. No one. She told him to come outside. Still no one. Then the doorbell rang. He looked through the peephole again. A man stepped into view. Bald. Short. Staring directly at the door. He spoke through the wood. "Hey Joey. It's Medusa. From the game. I just want to talk." He didn't move. He didn't breathe. He locked himself in his room. Through the window he watched the man circling the yard, trying to peer through the glass, knocking, saying they had a connection. He called his brother. His brother came back with 3 friends. They confronted the man outside. The man's excuse? He claimed this was all a lesson. That he was trying to teach the boy about the dangers of talking to strangers online. When pushed harder, he ran to his car and disappeared. His brother and those 3 friends may have arrived at exactly the right moment. Because all that time spent confiding, all those hours he thought he was talking to a girl his age who understood him was a grown man, with an entirely different agenda. The third story happened just last week. He had recently switched from Fortnite to Apex Legends, playing with his friend Brandon on a quiet Tuesday night. Parents out for their anniversary. Brother gone. Just him, the game, and the silence. Then Brandon's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Brandon read it out loud. Look out the window. He felt something cold run through him. He scanned his room. 5 windows. Every one of them a black rectangle of darkness. And at one of them a man. Standing outside. Watching. Brandon's phone buzzed again. He just took a picture of you. Then Brandon's voice dropped out of the party call. Gone. Just silence where his friend used to be. Seconds later, a party invite. He accepted without thinking. A deeper voice came through the headset. Come outside right now, or I will come in. He looked at the window. The man was there, both fists slamming against the glass. Face red. Hands already bleeding. The glass cracked. His phone, 1% battery. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen. The window shattered. The man crawled inside. He ran upstairs. Locked himself in his parents' bathroom. Found the cordless phone and dialed 911. He could hear the man below, moving through the rooms, coming up the stairs, one step at a time. Then, sirens. The man ran. Police caught him outside. Later he found out what had started all of it. Earlier that same session he had killed this man in-game. Trash talk him. Called him out in the voice chat. And somehow the man had tracked down his address. He was convicted of aggravated burglary. 3 stories. 3 ordinary nights. 3 people who sat down to play a game and found that something far more dangerous had noticed them. Most of the time gaming is just a game. But sometimes the person on the other side of that screen is not who you think they are. And sometimes they already know exactly where you live. Sleep well tonight. And maybe, lock your windows.